All right, so I woke up this morning and this tweet by Maddie.stats at Maddie Greenspan, great follow, you should check him out. Pretty much says it all. What is going on? And a lot of price action. Um, I mean, with all of the SEC regulation, with Robinhood now delisting Cardano, Polygon, and Solana, and this is just the beginning. Are we going to see this happen across all exchanges, across not just centralized exchanges, but also decentralized exchanges? Where are we going with all this craziness? So it just caused all this price action, mostly very, very bearish. And yeah, I mean, Matic, Solana, Cardano, I think got down to like 20 cents. Just crazy what we've seen on a Saturday. Weekends are already a period of very, very low liquidity. We're already in a very liquid market. If you didn't see my previous video from, it's been a few days since I did my last video. I talked about the fact that now all eyes are on Yellen. The debt issuance, is it going to be short-term or long-term? If it's short-term, that's going to be good for the markets. If it's long-term, it's going to drain a lot of liquidity from these markets, and they're already illiquid. We have the Fed still supposedly under the umbrella quantitative tightening. We'll see how that progresses. They could still raise interest rates. I mean, so it's almost like you have like double slash almost triple quantitative tightening, possibly depending on what Yellen does. And now you have all this SEC regulation stuff. I mean, good God. But Bitcoin holding strong. Bitcoin has actually held pretty strong, all things considering. I mean, the fact that it's only down 3% with all this craziness, less than 3%, really says a lot, especially on a weekend, because weekends could be insane. Like all bets are off the table on a weekend. So why is that? Well, I mean, Bitcoin has become, for many, it's become the place where you go for seeking shelter and safety. And we know, I've talked in many different videos in many different ways about all the reasons why I think Bitcoin is an amazing long-term solution for so many different things as a store of value. And we're going to see that play out, I think, more and more. And this altcoin market, those of you that have been watching my videos for over a year now know that I've talked about the fact that all of these different assets, like, especially like DOT, I think is always the perfect example that creates like zero revenue almost, are just so highly overvalued. So I think you had to have more of this getting flushed out. And who knows, this could be a good thing for Bitcoin. You have all this money that's been going to all these crap coins and all these overvalued assets and all these money grab, S coins, especially in DeFi. If you see all that money going into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, could be a good thing for those of us that, as I've been stating, most of my crypto portfolio is Bitcoin and it's Ethereum. And we're seeing the why play out pretty clearly. And if you're not in crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're very risky. So the fact that many people think that's playing it too safe, I think they need to get a bigger perspective. So what now? And how are things going to play out? Because if we look at Solana, all right. So if you look at Solana, you have this big wick right there. Here, we'll make it bigger. That we're looking at right now. This one right here. And there are definitely some comparisons to that, from that wick to this one right here. And if you look at this wick right here from December 29th, you will see that from that point, it did a 3.5x. And there's a lot of similarities. Like both of them look like capitulation. The volume signature definitely increased. There's a lot of similarities there. So are we going to see something like that? Or are we going to see something like this? And that's my concern. And that's why I don't have any open trades right now. What if we see something like this, where these huge candles just keep coming one after another? And this is on the daily. And we're just getting started. So that is my big concern. Let's see where the volume was at in comparison. Here, so if we look at the volume, I mean, it was pretty high today. It was really high today. So kind of hard to totally compare that to these candles up here, like the first 2 or 3 ones, because the volume wasn't anywhere as high. We didn't see this kind of volume till basically the last one. So, I mean, I just feel like it's a really tough spot right now to take a trade. Not only do we have a liquid weekend, but on top of that, we don't know. Is this going to be something like what we saw back in December 29th, or is it going to be something like what we saw up here on November 7th? And here comes a lot more downside. And if you look at Matic, if we really want to be completely strategic about this and really be patient and take a lot of the gamble out, well, here we go. 31.8 cents. We'll just say 32 cents. And honestly, I don't even know if it would get that low. It would probably paint another kind of low maybe there because I think everyone's going to be waiting for this one. But I think that would be the safe play. And even if it's, I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of liquidity there in that whole area. I mean, look at this area right here. Here we can kind of do this, maybe from here all the way really to here. There's a lot of liquidity right there, guys. A lot of liquidity to grab from there, that whole area. So, I mean, we can have 45 as a target. That would make a ton of sense. You can have 38 as a target. And look, this is why I'm always talking about the fact that we need liquidity in these markets, because what this data right here on the daily tells us is that this has been a time where in order for price action to be driven higher, we do need more market participants to say, yes, that makes sense to me. So the more liquidity there is in the markets, the more likely that we will see if that target gets hit of 45 cents, that it will act as support. Or who knows, maybe this will be there's a lot of liquidity here as well, where there's been a lot of traders agreeing on price action from basically in this whole area right here as well, from, yeah, right there. Where we almost, I think we went below that a little bit today, right? So, so I guess the point I'm trying to make is that with Matic, if you really want to be patient and you really want to take the gamble out of it, gosh, actually, if we close above that level, that line I just drew, it's actually not a bad spot. Maybe may not be a bad spot, just from looking at where buyers and sellers have agreed to terms many times, and there's a good little spot of confluence. I think that this probably wouldn't be the worst time, but who knows? One of my other concerns is this. The action that we saw last night while I was sleeping or in the early morning that happened on a Saturday, what drove it exactly? That's my other concern. What if the insiders, and there's always insiders, with any time the SEC does something, the insiders seem to always know and act on it. What if they know that something else is coming next week? No clue what it could be. DOJ, another big, another attack against Binance. I don't know. So we need to kind of take a look at what are they going after Grayscale now? Like, I don't know. So that's my other concern with taking a trade right now. Even if we were to open or close above this, and I could probably really fine tune that if I wanted to, but even if we were to close around this area and head towards Monday that way, I don't know how much we could trust this level due to that. So if you really want to play it safe, I think, 32 as a line in the sand, all the way up to 37, 38 cents, I think would be the just like a beautiful spot to take a long with Matic. And what would be really nice about taking that long is that that if you go below right here, 32.2 cents, then that's probably not going to act as support, and you can just get out, because then who knows how low it can go. So yeah, that's kind of like what I wanted to cover in regards to today's video. Is just all that. I know that I'm not sounding very decisive, and that's just because there's just so much uncertainty right now. But I think the only thing that I feel really confident about is long-term Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, and this just kind of cements it again. And I know the price action hasn't been good for either one, but I think it's going to be one of those things when we look back at today, say around 2030, around 2032, 2036, that sort of thing, which is really not that far away. Like, especially 2032. That's less than 10 years away. These price levels are going to be, I think, amazing. We're going to go back and think, wow, this was such an amazing opportunity. And yeah, so I just feel stronger, and I feel like my conviction's a lot stronger about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And am I still gonna, swing trade alts when I can? Yeah, absolutely. Am I still going to play different DeFi projects that I like, that I think have strong tokenomics or narratives, whatever? Yeah, absolutely. But for the main and most important part of my crypto holdings, it will be Bitcoin, it will be Ethereum, and I'm not looking at these types of assets like Sol, like Matic, not looking at them as long-term holds. I'm just not. And today is just another reminder of it. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope it helped in some way, and hope you have a great weekend. Take care.